Competition ribs are their own thing. I don't necessarily agree with that's the perfectly done rib. This is the rib I want.
100%. I can eat these all day long.
Guys, we're going to take it back old school. We're going to do a little 3-2-1. The ones that don't know what 3-2-1 stands for, it's 3 hours on smoke, 2 hours wrapped, and then 1 hour back on the smoker unwrapped. Kind of set all that sauce in. You'll see what it looks like. So Bree and I have been on the competition circuit now for right on 5 years, and you know, we don't do the 3-2-1 on the competition circuit. We're doing about a total cook of 3 hours on our ribs, maybe 2 hours and 45 minutes. But we were sitting around thinking, man, we miss the days of just sitting around and cooking and having a couple beverages and then just enjoying an old school rib. So that's what we're gonna do today. It's not for everyone, but we love it this way. Let us show you how we do it. First off, what do we gotta have here?
Gotta have our Prairie Fresh. These guys, you can find them in your local barbecue specialty stores that sell fresh meat, but also Walmart carries these brands. Some grocery stores even carry these brands. We love them because there's not a bunch of extra preservatives to it.
The consistency.
The consistency too. When you have the preservatives that some other brands that you might find in your local grocery store have, it does affect tenderness and flavor because they've already put some of that in there with those preservatives. So just kind of pay attention to them, look on the back and see if there's a bunch of preservatives listed on the ingredients list. Back here where it has the nutrition label, you can see if there's anything added in here. There's nothing else listed on the back of this.
Let's talk about selection though.
Yeah.
So when I, or even Bree, I should say even, when Bree's actually better at picking out ribs than I am. When we're picking out ribs, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that marbling right there. I'm looking over in that big end, you see that marbling, looks like a good ribeye steak. I'm also looking right over here, you can see all that fat striation. This rib is going to be super tender, super juicy.
For competition, we look at different things like thickness, straightness of bones, but when you're just eating them at home, that's what we look for, just the fat content in them.
Let's trim these up and get them ready for just to feed some friends.
All right, let's do
got?
it. We had to set up a little different this time since I'm a lefty, so we wouldn't be fighting. Wow. I don't know why you picked that one for today. That would have been a good comp one.
Normally this rib would go to a comp with us with that kind of marbling.
She's a beaut.
Yeah, sorry.
We're not going to do as much trimming. This is not a competition trim. We're not trying to get them all pared down to feed the judges. This is just to feed us and our families and our friends. So we're looking at this end over here. There's always an end that's got more fat on it than the other. We're going to take off roughly 1, maybe 2 bones.
On my rack, it's going to be 2 because of that breastbone's coming in right there.
Yeah, so I'm going to look back here and kind of see where.
And you absolutely do not have to do that.
No.
If you want to keep that, what she's trying to get at is there's a lot of fat right there. It's not going to be good.
Right,
and when you take it off, as you can see right here, there's no meat really on that bone.
What I call it is the Goji fat. It's the Goji fat. So like if I were to take all this fat off, there wouldn't be hardly anything left to eat. So I'm going to flip her over and I'm going to probably go ahead and go with 2 here.
Now that we've done that, there's some meat right there. There's not a bunch of fat on there that we don't want.
And then we're going to flip her over, look at the back here. On these guys, once again, not super picky on these like I would be on the comp one.
The back of this rib's going to have a little more cartilage to it. These aren't too bad, but like right here you can see a big chunks of cartilage. Typically, we'll take that off, and I'm probably going to take that off today because I don't really want that cartilage and bone in there. We already trimmed 2 bones off, so now I'm just going to go 2 in from there. So it's the 4th bone in is usually the tallest bone on here, and you go like maybe a 1/4 inch above. I put my fingertip right on the end of that 4th bone and I go about a 1/4 inch above and I score a straight line.
For me, I can find that bone he's talking about, but if you notice here on mine, the edge of my bone is right there, so it's not much. But what I'm looking for is, if you can see down here, my rib, the meat bows out like this, so that's the part that I'm gonna just pretty much go straight across here and take this off. So you've really got to look and see what the rib gives you, because every rib is going to be a little different as far as that goes.
And if you want to trim it down to where we would trim it on a competition, you're going to see that little pops of cartilage right there. That's what we're looking for.
Now we're going to take off our membrane. So butter knife, paper towel. All right, let's pop it up underneath. Kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
For competition, we do a little different with the membrane. We leave some membrane on there. When I'm cooking at home, I want that membrane gone. I want this thing being tender.
Okay,
Insane
now
in the membrane.
Insane in the brain. Okay, sorry.
We're going to talk about this fat on the back here. Normally, if we're cooking hot and fast, 300 to 325, I'm going to leave a little bit on there because it's just going to run. It's going to render off and drip down into the coals. Today, we're doing 321, so I'm cooking about, it's probably going to run between 225 and 235 is what the drum's going to run. Be the first time I've ever ran a Gateway drum at such a low temp, so we're going to see how it likes it or if it's going to cuss me the whole day. But it's not going to do the same thing. We're not going to get that sizzle and pop because we're truly smoking right now. We're below 250, so we're truly smoking. Reminder, anything over 250, you're starting to get into that grilling phase of things. So I'm going to just shave some of that fat off. I don't want to leave a bunch of it because it will be left behind.
So this little flap thing right here, we're going to cut that flat because it will burn and not cook evenly.
So now it's time to add the flavor. So we're going to use two of our rubs. We're going to use our pork rub and our rib rub. Now, side note, people ask us all the time, where can we get your stuff? Simple, simple, simple question. You can go to your local Ace hardware store and you can hit them up. They may not have it on their shelves right away, but let me tell you, if you go to the Ace hardware store manager and tell them, hey, I want Smokin' Magic products in my local store, they can get them. We're in their distribution center. So help us spread the word to get us in every
Absolutely.
Ace hardware across the nation because everybody needs a little magic in their life.
We're also
All right.
in Shields sporting goods stores if you happen to have those near you, and of course all of your barbecue supply stores as well.
Yeah, and if you want to order online, we'd prefer go through Ace, but if you want to order online, you can go to thekansascitybarbecuestore.com, and Greg and Devin and his team will have it shipped out just pronto to you.
Yeah, they do a great job with that.
Just hit us up, let us know what works best for you. All right, so we're going to start with about a medium coat of our pork rub across the back of the ribs. We always start on the back. And I know you've probably watched video before of how I hold a rib bottle. So basically I make a crown with my fingers and I'm holding off to the side. I want the holes off to the side like this. I don't want it straight up and down like this. Because the larger particles tend to come to the top as I'm shaking and then they don't come through. If I turn it to the side, everything comes through, and so then I just give it a shake like that, and it just flows wonderfully. And she's going to start doing hers while I do this. So the top layer is going to be my rib rub. It's going to be a little sugary, a little sweet. It's such a dynamic rub. We use it on beef and pork, and it just goes into so many things. This one is doubly important that you are doing that technique of holding the holes to the side like this because there is a lot of larger pepper flake in there. And I'm just going to come over with about a medium coat of that as well. I don't like to put a lot of seasoning on a rib. I think you can overpower a rib really quick. There's not a lot of meat on them, and I feel like you can overpower them. We always pat the rub in.
Never rub a rub.
So we're going to repeat the same thing across the top. And this is where, for me, it's like, man, getting that perfect coat. And then come back across with the rib rub across the top. And you will see as we get going on this, the color is going to be just awesome. Bob Ross would be proud. I'm going to pat that in. We're going to let these sit on the counter for what, about 10 or 20 minutes? They're sweat in. They look good.
So by sweat in, he means they're looking wet. So when the rub looks wet and it's not dry anymore, that's what you're going for.
You know what that is?
Pat it wet.
Whap. Wet ass pork.
Okay. Okay. So let's get. I can't even.
Oh, to live with me.
Okay. It's fun, baby. It's an adventure. I never know what I'm going to get. Think you're like a box of chocolates.
You get some whap.
Okay.
Wet ass pork.
Okay. Let's get these things on the pit so we can get them cooking.
You weren't expecting that one, were
I
you?
was not. That was totally.
Keep them on their toes, fellas. Keep them on their toes.
All right, let's get these guys on. Now we do have a water pan that we're running in here. And when you put them on, I'm gonna scrunch them together a little bit, plump them up. I'm also gonna kind of straighten them up. That's what we do in competition as well, because they're gonna look like how they look when you put them on the pit. All right, let's close them up and let them get going. Right now we're running at 225, 230. We're gonna have them on smoke for a total of 3 hours. All right, so the ribs have been on for about 3 hours now, so let's check our color. Ooh, they're looking pretty. So beautiful. So we're getting ready to get our wrap stage set up now. So the ribs have been on for about 3 hours now. It is time to get our wrap set up. So what we have here are 2 pieces of foil. We always like to double that up so that if it breaks through one, we have the other one as our safety net. We have a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and we have our honey and our squeezed butter here.
Parquet.
Butter. You can use different honey. I've seen people use the hot honey, so whatever. This is just what we had here at the house, so that's what we're using. So we're gonna get our wrap set up. Before we get our ribs on, we're gonna do a base of all 3 of these. So we're gonna use about 1/4, so 1/2 of our brown sugar here. We're gonna put it in the middle.
I'm gonna do butter while she does honey.
Yeah, just a little bit of honey. You gotta actually take the lid off.
It's called production problems.
The struggle is real.
I was set up, folks. I was set up.
So we had the butter sitting on the smoker to warm it up a little bit, so that's why it came out as fast as it did. Well, let's grab the ribs off the smoker here.
Ooh, that color. That color is beautiful.
They're popping.
She's going meat, rib side down, bone side down. Is that what you're doing?
So that's the age-old question, right? Meat side up, meat side down. So no, I don't really think there's a right or a
I've
wrong.
been looking forward to this. I mean, they smell amazing.
So when you do competition barbecue, the competition ribs they're over the top because they have to be over the top because you have the one bite to impress the judges. However, if I'm gonna eat ribs, these are the kind of ribs I wanna eat. All right, so we're gonna fold it up over the top, roll it on down.
Loose or tight?
You want it tight because if it's loose, it will steam your ribs, and you don't want to steam your ribs. And then on the edges, just kind of push those edges in. Be careful not to have any bones sticking out. Notice that we did not temp them. We wrapped at the 3-hour mark and looking at color. We've got another 2 hours on the pit. We'll check back later. Thank you, baby.
Mark, 2 hours.
2 hours and go.
We're at the 5th hour now, and it is time to pull these ribs out, and then we're going to give them their last hour on smoke to kind of set all that
Yummy goodness.
into the rib. Let's get them out.
So, going to ever so carefully open them up. Ooh, they smell yum.
So, as you can see, they look fantastic. For what kind of muss are they?
The what?
Butamus.
Butamus. Yes.
She's rubbing off people. So we're just going to roll the edges up here, make a little boat, hold that moisture in. We want to keep these ribs in moisture so they don't dry out as we put them on for their last hour. And so this last hour is going to tack up everything, and we're also going to, about halfway through this last hour, maybe like 15 minutes before they're done or so, we're going to add some sauce to it. Just going to go back on the smoker. Double tap for love. All right, guys, we're going to get some sauce on these. So we're going to use the Smokin' Magic spicy sauce. Only got a few minutes left before this cook's done. Look at them. Oh. I'm going to take this sauce and just drizzle it over the top. Doesn't take a lot. So get this just basted on. You can take a little juice out of the wrap and kind of help thin it out a little bit if you need to. Put those on about another 10-15 minutes. They're gonna be good to go. Oh yeah.
Oh, baby, those are beautiful.
These ribs are done. So we've temped them, and the temp's right. That's sign number one. So in competition, that would be a killer, but we're looking for that split right there to tell us when it's done. These are a little bit over, but for backyard, it's exactly what you want. Flip them over. Get my handy dandy Victorinox knife.
Now, why do you flip them over when you're cutting them?
I want to be able to see the bone so I can split it. These are, as we found out in December, these are Texas tender. These ribs feel absolutely banging for just backyard, feed the family ribs. Competition ribs are their own thing. I don't necessarily agree with that's the perfectly done rib. This is the rib I want.
100%. I can eat these all day long.
So the 3-2-1 is not a perfect science. It's just going to get you in the ballpark for a perfectly done rib. We're still checking our doneness and making sure we're not completely nuking these ribs. For a backyard rib, even though some of them are falling apart, I'm still going to say it's right where we want them because I want that fall off the bone rib. I don't want a KCBS rib.
So what he means by that is for competition, for KCBS, Kansas City Barbecue Society, whenever the judges bite into the rib, the meat has to stay on the bone. When they take that bite, it has to be a clean bite, pull away from the bone, but the rest of the meat stay on the bone. For me, this is the way I like to eat ribs, and what Brad's doing here is 100% my favorite part. So I love taking all of that wrap juice, all that yummy goodness that we've been.
It's where the flavor's
And
at.
that's where all of the flavor is at.
The rubs you've put on, butter, the brown sugar, the honey, the little bit of sauce we put on the end, all that is in that wrap right there, and you're just going to enhance the top of it, and you're going to add a little shine to it so it look pretty. You want one off yours and one off mine?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right. Cheers. Oh, they're hot. Oh, my
Honestly,
gosh.
it's a good bite.
That's so good.
Taking the old school.
100%.
Like, I know there's a debate between low and slow and hot and fast. They all have their purpose. Today we had the time to do a low and slow cook. Totally paid off. These are phenomenal ribs. I might not even give them to the neighbors. Guys, if you like what you see, give us a like, give us a follow, share our content. We're just a small business trying to get out and sell rubs and sauces and spread the love of barbecue. As we said earlier, Ace Hardware is where you can get all this stuff. Your local barbecue stores can get this stuff. Be advocates for us. Get us out there. Help small business. Let's go.
Oh, my gosh.
Come on, get there. Fat kid this up.
I know, right? That means it's good. Turn your head and cough. Stop.
Okay, watch this guy. He puts stuff up there. It makes me look like I'm a crazy man.
It's because you are. The camera comes on and TV Brad shows up. Okay. All right. So, I don't even know what to say.